Alright, we are here in Virtua Fighter 10th Anniversary, which is a special, well, kind of a retro release that Sega put out on the 10th anniversary of Virtua Fighter. And this version is the one that actually comes on the disc with Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution in the United States for the PS2. Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution game disc. So if you bought that, then if you boot up Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, you go to the options menu in the game and select Special. It will ask you if you want to launch Virtua Fighter 10th Anniversary. And that's what this is. It doesn't save options, but it is basically a full-fledged arcade-style game that is essentially the rules and style of the first Virtua Fighter combined with the characters and move lists of Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. So that's pretty crazy, and the reason I was drawn to it is because I don't like sidestep evade moves that came along in Virtua Fighter and Virtua Fighter 3, and since this is using the rules of Virtua Fighter 1, there is no sidestepping, which is cool. But there's also weird stuff like super floaty jumps, which is a little less cool, but you know, to each their own. Anyway, the reason I have this paused here, boringly like this, and I'm just talking, is because I wanted to show you something. You may notice that this video does not have a 60 frame per second display option on it, and the reason for that is in the health meters that you see here at the top of the screen. Now, so as we hit each other, you'll see a yellow or white sort of after image on the health meter where the chunk that got knocked off the health meter used to be in green, and then it's removed in white or bright yellow and then becomes red. Well, at 60 frames per second, the frame rate the game runs at. Interesting note, Virtua Fighter 1 only ran at 30 frames per second, but they did let this game run at 60. At 60 frames per second, that effect, that replacement part of the health meter that gets chopped off, is not just a solid bright white or yellow. It's a flickering bright white, yellow, and red. It just flickers at every other frame at 60 frames per second. It's this really just gross, awful, eye-gouging, eye-tormenting effect that I don't want to inflict on people. Now, I can't run at 30 frames per second on my actual monitor as I'm playing this live, so I just have a t-shirt draped over the top of the screen, so I can't actually see the health meters or the timer, which is not that helpful, but whatever. So I wanted to not inflict that visual torment on my viewers, so you only get this at 30 frames per second, but you don't get that horrible visual effect that could go so far as to cause migraines in certain people like myself. So we have to set up our options here because it doesn't save options, and I don't know what I had set it anyway. I'm still trying to find a good difficulty setting. I'm gonna try hard, but this game has kind of like an old school difficulty mode where it's really easy for the first couple matches and it gets really hard, and I don't really find that fun, but whatever. There's only two different sets of enemies that you can go up against in a sort of arcade style route or circuit. We're gonna do the Evolution one, so you start off against characters from Virtua Fighter 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, up to 4 Evolution. And the other one, you only play VF1 characters from the first Virtua Fighter game. And I guess we'll leave the other stuff as normal. And I am here to... That sound you hear is my arcade stick. It's noisy. It's got sound mode buttons, and they're noisy and slappy, and I love them. Okay, so we're here to play some Go Hinagami, because I've been playing him in Virtua Fighter 5 and Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, and I think I'm just about ready to switch to a different character in those games because I've got him to a certain level of not really knowing the character, but doing okay. I can sort of get by at low levels. So it's time to go find another character to get up to a low level of expertise with. But I just wanted to play him a little in this game for comparison. He first appeared in Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, so this is kind of his earliest incarnation, since this is using his move list from that game. And in Virtua Fighter 5, I've been playing him in quest mode, and I basically know 2 moves with him that work. That wasn't it.
Fight 2.
Ready? Go. Just a second. I didn't turn on my headphones. One of them is just a normal throw, and the other is forward kick. Oh, it's a little different than this. So in 5, forward kick is just a big, just swings his leg back and forward right into the crotch of the opponent, and it looks pretty painful. In Virtua Fighter 5 Evolution, or Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, they changed the animation a bit, so it's more of kind of like a golf swing with his leg, and he doesn't quite hit them as squarely in the junk as he does in Vanilla 5. But the AI, I think that move, maybe you can't block it low or something, but the AI sure gets hit by it a lot, so that's a good move. So basically that and throwing that I know how to do with Go. So we'll see how that translates to... The other move that I found was really abusable was back+punch, which is a specific combo in Final Showdown. It's not in 5 Vanilla, as far as I can tell. And so it wouldn't be here, I wouldn't think, unless they changed it for 5 and then back for Final Showdown. That would be weird. But I found in Final Showdown I could just spam it against all but the hardest level of AI, and I would win.
Fight 2. Ready? Go.
Now, these first probably 3, maybe even 4 fights will be pretty easy. Just because that's how the difficulty curve in this game goes.
Fight 1. Ready?
This is where it starts to get a little hard, I guess. Stage 4. Oh! Oh boy. I miss his big kick from 5. So that could be a problem. Oh, yeah, and I can't see my health bar, so I didn't realize she had me on the ropes.
Fight 2. Ready? Go.
Well, shucks. Back+punch, that'll save me. I probably should have weighted in like that. Well, I'm not close to dying. So back+punch still works pretty well in 10th anniversary. presumably in 4 Evolution, but I'm not going to play 4 Evolution because that has a really bright flashing effect when you punch people, and that is also not exciting for my eyeballs. Oh, those are bad. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. Well. I don't just want to spam back punch because that's boring, and I already know that. That's kind of a broken move. At least up until very hard difficulty. Well, here I am spamming it. We'll try some other stuff. Yeah. Oh. Good old throw. Nothing beats throw.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, she's just... Oh, she's just outguessing me at every turn here. Yeah. That was
Fight 3.
She was in my head on that one. Oh, I know another move. Just back kick is pretty good. Except I have to actually use it. Well, see, now I put myself in a poor position since you can't sidestep. Alright.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Whoa. Really don't know how to fight owie very well.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
That kick. Oh, jeez. Can't slack off on this girl. What am I doing? Oof. Used a down attack. Down attacks in this game are super effective. Like that though. Oh my gosh, well, I can't see the timer either, so yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Go! There we go.
KO. Fight 2. Ready? Go.
Ooh. Ooh. I gotta throw you. Jeez. Back punch. Oh. Phew. Oh, next is Li-Fi. Li-Fi. Because this is now... Yeah, that was Virtua Fighter 3 characters. Now we're on Virtua Fighter 4. Wow. Oh! That was a cool dodge on my part. Totally accidental. Ha! And then he nailed me.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, I super missed that punch or that kick of Ghost. My whole strategy is out the window without being able to hit people in the balls. You dummy.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Oh, I always forget. He's got so many combinations. Ugh, that move does not work. Oh, you rascal.
今度こそ地獄を見せてやる。
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Keep that up all day. Oh, oh.
KO! Fight 2. Ready?
I mean,
Go!
I don't like sidestepping, but I do have to admit that Virtua Fighter feels pretty limited without being able to sidestep. Oh. It really feels like you're sort of nailed down, and it feels very oppressive. I guess it makes me feel like I'm playing Street Fighter, which does not have many movement options either.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Now this is going to be tough because, well, because it's Vanessa. Back punch punch. Oops. Ah, jeez. He hesitates. Oh, wow. Okay.
Fight 2.
So back kick.
Go!
It's kind of my secret weapon tonight. It's what I've got instead of forward punch or forward kick. Jeez. Well, wow.
勝てるとでも思っていたのか。
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
So it's just two characters left now because we're on the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution characters. So this is the first one, Brad, and then the second one is Go. Why can't I throw you?
KO!
Ugh. My throw button's broken.
2. Ready?
Let's have a joke there. Ugh. Sheesh. Dong, I love that dong sound. Man, movement in this game is really slow. It's hard to get out of the range of somebody's downed attack.
KO!
Donk.
Fight 3. Ready? Go!
Oh. Dang.
KO!
Oh, that was not that bad. So I guess, you know, difficulty doesn't really keep going up, which is probably good. So it's not like a total old school
Fight 1.
Virtua Fighter 2 style
Go!
Trail of Tears. Take that, evil go. And again, maybe I'm evil go. What is he doing?
Excellent. Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Come on, man. So I guess this could sort of handicap the AI because in 4 and 4 Evolution, well, at least in 4, if you spam an attack at an AI, it will pretty quickly sidestep, evade to the side, and then, you know, counterattack the daylights out of you. But there's no sidestepping in this, so I guess the question is, did they give the AI a solution for what to do if you're just spamming an attack at them to replace their normal sidestep behavior? Dang. Oh yeah, you can't continue against her all, so I should probably not goof around.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oof, well, I don't think it's gonna matter anyway. Oh, too many combinations. Wow. Well, this is going poorly.
Excellent.
Okay, that's cool. It's just a bonus round, right? Who cares? It's gonna hurt his hand if he keeps punching the ground. And this, was this, is it based on the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution credit sequence? Right? No, I forget. Since I don't play Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, I don't really know. And it's not a credit sequence, as we can see, it's just a record of all the Virtua Fighter games that came out. There were these Portrait series, which was just music with pre-rendered graphics on Saturn. Which sounds kind of weird, but Virtua Fighter was a big deal back then, and I don't know, I guess they probably made money off that. It's like printing their own money. I had Virtua Fighter 3TB on Dreamcast. I was not impressed by it. Basically never played it again. I'd like to have a real arcade conversion of it. Well, actually I wouldn't though, because there's one stage like up on a skyscraper being constructed that has flashing lights that I don't like, so I just decided to avoid that game. But it's got some cool stuff.
Game over.
And actually, the Virtua Fighter 3TB has a scene in Japan. It's really the only older Virtua Fighter that still has a scene in Japan. And I don't know if it's a big one, but they still have tournaments for it now and then. Okay, so my next character after Go. I suppose I should try very hard with Go real quick. What do you think? Yeah, why not? This is probably gonna get ugly. Probably have to bail from this, because it will get too painful.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
But as well, oh shoot, I'm still on the wrong. Oh, no, duh. I thought I was on the wrong route. Ah. Let's go back to kicking Akira. So I think I tried this before, and The
Ready?
first two fights are still really easy. Well, I'm not getting my... Oh yeah, just stand there like that. Oh, well, I guess he is gonna move a little. Okay, I guess I'll have to take you somewhat seriously.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, here I go, not getting the throw down.
KO!
I mean, his back plus kick move is
殺す気にもならないぜ
pretty effective in 5 and Final Showdown, but I don't know if it's quite this
Fight 1.
effective.
Ready? Go!
Oh, I screwed that up. And I screwed that up. That lion is on the easy stage because I hate fighting lion.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
I also hate fighting Akira, I suppose, but not as much as lion. I mean, Akira doesn't have an annoying voice, and he doesn't have his dumb mantis crouching jerko stuff.
KO!
Alright, so on very hard. Is round 3 going to be difficult?
Fight
Easy?
1. Ready? Go!
So far, not a problem.
Excellent!
And that's the problem, like, you know, if you go to a game and you say, I want to play very hard, and then you have
Fight 2.
at least three fights of
Go!
just pathetic ease on the AI, like, would you, I mean, it's just a waste of my time, you know? I could see, like, one fairly lenient fight.
KO!
3?
てめえ弱すぎるな殺す気にもならないぜ
Okay. Well, here's owie in stage 4, so
Fight 1. Ready?
this is probably going to be pretty tough. Reasonably tough. Oh. Ah! Wow. The jumping is weird. Shoot.
KO! Fight
Yeah.
2. Ready? Go!
I don't know how much tougher this is than hard was. Wow! Okay, just gonna teleport onto my chest like a alien face. Oh! Hmm.
今度こそ地獄を見せてやる
Yeesh.
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
Dang it.
KO! Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, nice. Oh. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, she psyched me out. Oh.
KO!
Oh. Ouch.
Fight 3.
Yeah.
Go!
Totally psyched me out.
弱すぎるな。殺す気にもならないぜ。
wasn't really noticeably harder than hard difficulty.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
What?
Hi, hi.
Ugh. Yeesh. Ooh. That's not what I wanted. Dang it.
Time's up.
What? Oh man.
Fight
Wow.
two. Ready? Go.
Me and your buddy horrible health meter effect got me that time, Leifei. I wonder if you have to hit all three buttons to do a low throw in this. Oh wait. Sheesh.
KO. Fight three. Ready? Go.
You're gonna block him. Dang it.
Time's up.
Oh, good.
負け犬がそのまま眠っていろ。
Jerk.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
Ow.
KO.
So yeah, very hard, but not
Fight two.
super impressive.
Ready? Go.
Oh, that was nice. Ooh. Ooh. Cool. I am running out of room though. Dang it. I don't know what to do. Help.
KO.
Oh. I don't know anything about those crazy ground throws of hers.
そのまま眠っていろ。
Fight
Like in
one.
Final Showdown,
Ready?
the AI will just play with me like a cat with a mouse with those things. Dang it, Brad. Oh, he's so fast. Can't get my kick up in time. So I'll just have to throw. Nice. Ready to turn around, maybe.
Time's up.
That was weird. He just my character was just gonna be perfectly happy not turning around at all. Dang it. I'm not gonna out-punch Brad, that's for sure. Oh, jeez.
Time's up.
Ugh.
てめえ弱すぎるな。殺す気にもならないぜ。
It's funny, he was getting up. I don't really expect that after a win.
Fight one. Ready?
Who is that handsome fellow in that hood? Why, it's me. And he's kicking my own butt. wonder if he knows about that move.
KO.
Apparently not. There's a weird glaze effect on the ground in this stage. I wonder if it's like this in the first Virtua Fighter.
KO.
Jeez. Well, beating myself was pathetically easy.
勝てるとでも
And that's the last round, and then it's just the bonus round, right? Yeah, and let's see if I can avoid getting completely smoked this time. So far, no. Dang it. Why? I can't throw. Ah. Well, I hit her a couple times.
Fight 2. Ready? Go.
How about back punch punch? Back punch punch. Come on. Now see, in Final Showdown, back punch punch did not work on very hard difficulty. But this is a lot easier than Final Showdown. Ah, now if I'd done it from the beginning, might have had a chance.
この俺が負けるとは
So you punch the ground and then you grind your knuckles into the ground. It's a little rough. Well, so very hard was disappointing, actually. It was not really harder than hard. Alright, well,
Game over.
let's try my next target character. But let's do very hard. If I want. There we go. So next up is Brad. Ugh. Brad is also a new character from Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution.
Fight 1. Ready?
Of course,
Go.
just to be clear, in Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, the characters actually have,
Checkmate.
reasonable polygon counts and
Checkmate.
textures and stuff like that. This is supposed to make them look like Virtua Fighter 1 era low polygon on characters, which it does a pretty good job of. Okay, so he's got a forward kick move that's pretty good.
Checkmate.
He's also got, of course, punches.
That all you got? I was hoping you'd be better than that.
Oh, Brad, you're so funny. Actually, that wasn't that
Fight
funny.
1. Ready? Go.
Brad doesn't really get funny until I'm not sure if it's 5 or Final Showdown. When I think it's Final Showdown when he's like, "Welcome to the Brad Show." I mean, that's pretty good.
Fight 2.
Okay, Jeffrey's not
Ready?
playing.
Go.
Whoa.
KO.
Good things didn't do anything there.
Ready? Go.
Ooh. Wow. Hey.
I was hoping you'd be better than that.
Brad's kind of a weirdo in this. Like, I don't know what that voice is supposed to be, or like...
Fight one. Ready? Go!
Not that I'm one to talk for weirdo voices. Oh, wow.
KO! Fight two. Ready? Go!
Ooh, got greedy. Oh. I don't know how Brad's back punch is. He's got back punch.
KO! Checkmate!
Brad's playing fourth dimensional chess.
Fight one. Ready? Go!
Oh wow. Popped right up into my weird little hole. Ah.
KO!
That knee is pretty wicked.
Fight two.
That's the forward kick. Tried to do there and failed. It's weird, there isn't really a throw whiff animation, which is throwing me off a little. No pun intended. Sweet. I was hoping to get a ring out, actually. You just had to go and die.
I sting like a bee, bite like a tiger.
Oh, Brad, why do you make me laugh?
One. Ready? Go!
So his back kick is not so great. Alright, don't hurt me. No! Dang. Dang! Climbing all over me. Ugh. You do get some funky interactions with that moon jumps. Should really get some.
Checkmate!
Whoa. Oh, gosh. Okay. So when Brad says checkmate,
Fight three.
you don't actually have checkmate. Actually, in chess, isn't it like you call checkmate and you don't actually have checkmate? You like forfeit or something? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, she's got me all. Oh, no, she got almost a ring out. Well, she
I can't believe this is happening.
She
to
messed me up. She messed me up good.
Yeah.
Fight one. Ready? Go!
Yeesh. Ah, now I'm doing it again. Yep. Yep.
KO!
Ah.
Fight two. Ready? Go!
Ow.
KO!
Okay, should probably use more jabs on her.
Fight three.
So
Ready?
fast. What was that?
KO.
The knee stopped working. Alright. Don't go for the knee.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
My downed attack. Whatever you call it.
KO.
I went for the knee and I got lucky.
Fight two. Ready? Checkmate.
Ooh. Oh man.
KO.
He almost got me in trouble again.
That all you got? I was hoping you'd be better than that.
Cocks and eyebrow. Now this could be trouble. Oh no, it's not Vanessa. Okay, it's not that much trouble. I mean, maybe. Because Vanessa has like an auto block on punches.
KO.
Ouch. Wolf's his own kind of problem.
Fight two. Ready? Go.
Ooh, wow, that's. Can you? Are you allowed to do that? Why are you being so mean to me, Wolf? Oh, nuts.
KO.
I left all that damage on the table.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Fight one. Ready? Go.
not so easy. Oh. How did I... why... Wow, what can I do there?
Fight two.
Just gonna...
Ready?
Just has all day to roll around and... Man, I'm getting blown up.
KO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
Oof.
KO.
Ish.
Fight two. Ready?
Well, my
Go.
newbie. Oh. Oh, not that one. My newbie Brad is kind of at a loss here. Oh my goodness.
KO.
Yeah, this might be as far as I get for now.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
Ow.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness.
Ready? Go.
That was the wrong choice. I'm really having trouble reading throw range in this game. Oh boy.
Ring out.
Oh, didn't replay
What's
that.
happening to me?
That was some Roadrunner and Coyote business there, standing on midair after you walk off a cliff.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
Oh, Wolf is too smart.
Fight two. Ready?
The lack of throw miss animations is really messing me up. Because it just feels like nothing's happening. Like, oh, that ain't it. Like, I'm like, are throws broken? I don't even know what I'm doing now. I'm just pushing random buttons.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. That means you can't castle.
KO.
Hey, it worked. Isn't that right? No castling out of checkmate, or is that something I just made up? He did it! I'll be darned. So, oh well, now it's Akira, so I should have just given up against Wolf.
Like a tiger.
I think it's Akira.
Fight one.
Oh, not even Akira.
Go.
So I can still give up against Lao. Ooh. How is he? Dang it. Dang it.
KO. Fight two. Ready?
Oh my gosh. Not coming in at all. What was that? What was that move, Brad?
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Fight one. Ready? Go.
He punched my foot.
KO.
Oh, is that unblockable? That was definitely blocking.
Ready?
How did I not hit him? Something weird with those attacks where they, if they miss you, they end up with their back to you, and then
One.
you would think,
Ready?
I've got a wide open target, but against Lao and Wolf, that is. No, this is not working either. Maybe I should try to be smarter.
KO. Fight two.
Yeah, you can get my ankles all day long. I'm not good at blocking low. I don't think I've landed a single knee on. Wow. Yeah. I'm really excited to fight again.
Ready?
Ooh, ooh.
KO.
Oof.
Fight two. Ready? Go.
I did it! No,
Fight 3.
not quite.
Ready? Go!
Aw, take your... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh.
KO!
Nuts. Just too many mix-ups.
I can't believe this is happening to me.
Alright, one more. One more, then I can retire in shame.
Ready? Go!
Unblockable. Oh, he's got it all going on right now. Wow.
KO!
Oh, jeez.
Fight 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, dong. Oh my goodness. Oh. Alright, that's enough punishment. Thanks, Lau.
I can't believe this is happening to me.
Well, I can.
Game over.
I will have to go back to the nice, forgiving fields of Virtua Fighter 5 quest mode and learn a little more about Brad. I wonder if Go could beat those guys. I'm not going to do that now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.